Hello and welcome to Froch on Fighting. My name is Froch, the Cobra, former unified champion and International Boxing Hall of Famer. I'm still here in Vegas, Las Vegas, with my boy, Manvirai, and I've just witnessed history. Terence Crawford has just become, in the four-belt era, the first man to become a three-weight undisputed champion. And he's just finished it off in the 168-pound weight division, the Cobra's division, super middleweight, by, for me, absolutely, I don't want to say outclassed, but he just destroyed Canelo Alvarez in there tonight. Listen, it was a whooping, let's be honest. And here's the moment when Terence Crawford was announced the undisputed 168-pound world champion.
112. Max DeLuca and Tim Cheatham both have it. 115 to 113.
Terence Crawford
guaranteed. The
guaranteed.
winner by unanimous decision, the fighting pride of Omaha, Nebraska,
So from the off, right back to the ring walk, the atmosphere was absolutely buzzing. It was all El Mexico, it was just Mexican. Terence Crawford came out to a little Mexican jingle. When I heard the music, I thought Alvarez was walking out, but it was Crawford. He comes out first because Canelo is obviously the champion. But anyway, he walks out to the Mexican music. He doesn't get booed, he gets cheered. And then about 5 minutes later, Canelo, might have been 10 minutes actually, kept him waiting in the ring a little bit long. Maybe that was part of the script, I don't know. But Canelo Alvarez then walked to the ring, to the Mexican vibe. The atmosphere was electric. We've got helicopters flying over us here. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. I think they're getting my car navigated in. I'm waiting for the limo. But this ring entrances were amazing. It was all Mexican. It was all about the Mexico vibe, and it was friendly and it was nice. I liked the vibe. It was relaxed. But as soon as these two guys got in there, it was a bit of a chess match. So that didn't really follow on from the crowd vibe. It was nip tuck from the start. But Terence Crawford was on his back foot, kind of dominating behind his jab, putting little combinations together. Terence Crawford was really, from the off, right until the very end, in control of this fight. Now, the scorecard might not say it was a one-sided whooping, and I don't want to say that Canelo Alvarez got whooped, because he don't get whooped, does he? But in terms of a performance from Terence Crawford, landing with a jab, combination punches on the back foot, sort of dictating the pace, and then after about round 6 or 7, Canelo Alvarez knew, 1 second, I need a little freshener. Canelo knew he had to step on the gas. He knew he had to put the fight on its front foot and take it to Terence Crawford and start to try and catch him and bang him on. And when he headbutted Crawford, I thought that could be the start of it. A little bit of a nut, get that down. Yeah, I don't know if there was a cut, but the referee stopped and had a look. And I thought, now Canelo's going to step on the gas. And he did that. He stepped on the gas, he started getting in close, and he started landing a few more shots than he was in the previous rounds, but it wasn't enough. Terence Crawford was able to catch and counter. He was landing a sneaky uppercut from the southpaw stance. He was dominating behind his jab, and then when Canelo stuck it on him, he was dominating up close in the pocket. He was beating him at his own game. Canelo Alvarez must have been fuming in there. He must have thought to himself, what can I do? He couldn't do anything. He needed to pick up the pace, put the pressure on, and sustain the attacks. And I don't want to take anything away from Terence Crawford, but Canelo Alvarez couldn't do that. He couldn't do it for long enough. Crawford looked like he could have done 20 rounds in there tonight at that pace, the way he was dictating and controlling. And Canelo Alvarez was getting marked up, he was breathing heavy, he was getting tired, he was reaching with shots, and he was getting torn apart. It was an absolute masterclass by Terence Crawford. Canelo tried. Canelo came and he had a go, but to be honest, I don't want to rain on the parade of Crawford, but Canelo Alvarez, for me, is well past his best now. He's seen better days. He hasn't got the pace, he hasn't got the fitness to sustain the attack. Afterwards in the interview, he said, I felt great, it's great, I feel good. And don't forget, Crawford's a couple of years older. So I think it's the miles on the clock. Canelo Alvarez had like 67 fights. I know Crawford's had a fair few fights, but he's about 20 fights behind him. So the miles on the clock have caught up with Canelo Alvarez. He's feeling the pace, he's feeling the age, and I don't want to say I hope this is the last we see of him, but this could be the last we see of him, unless he absolutely just loves the sport that much, he wants to carry on. He's had some serious bunts there to top up the serious bunts he's already got. This guy is like, lives in a palace, he's a king, he's got everything he wants. Money is no object now, money's a subject. Why is he going to carry on fighting? Unless he doesn't want to go out on that fight, because it was a bad loss, and I think that will get his pride a little bit. But let's just give the flowers to Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford, from round 1 right through to round 12, he lost a couple of rounds, shared a couple of rounds, yes, through the middle section. But towards the end, start and the end, he just pulled away, and when he took Canelo on up close and matched him for counter, punch for punch, and then finished the argument strong, I just thought this guy is an absolute fucking bad boy. He is a generational great. He's unbelievable, Terence Crawford. Fair play to him. He's done the business. Absolutely smashed in Canelo Alvarez. And like I said earlier, it looked like he could have done it for another 10, 15 rounds. He was that relaxed and that composed. And I can't big him up enough. Terence Crawford, you're a bad man. 168 pound, undisputed champion. Well done. Right, so what's next for both fighters? Let's start with Terence Crawford. Where does he go? He's just stepped up to 168 pound and beat quite conclusively Canelo Alvarez there. And there's no one really now at super middleweight for him to test. Benavidez, he's gone up to light heavyweight. There's no one really in there. We saw Skull against Canelo, and Skull was quite slow and couldn't do much. I know Canelo stood off and didn't really stick it on him, but Skull showed no ambition. It's not a fight I want to see. I think really the only fight for both of these guys, Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, is the rematch. Because where does Canelo go from here now? He's got a guy stepping up from welterweight, serving him up a bit of a whooping, because that's what it was. And now he's got, like, where does he go? He can't really compete up at light heavyweight because Bivol's done him. Benavidez has gone up to there now, and I don't think that's a fight he's going to fancy. I feel like a lot of people are saying he swerved that Benavidez fight, so I don't think he's going to want to go up to light heavyweight and fight him. So it's like the only sensible option, or the only real option, is the rematch. And that's the same for Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford's now 168 pound. Who does he fight? Who does he go for next? It's difficult. There's no other real big names. I mean, there's a kid in England called Hamza Shiraz who's tapping on the door for something big. And I had a chat with him yesterday, and he's talking about the Canelo fight, and he'd take that. But realistically, is Canelo Alvarez or Terence Crawford going to want to jump in with Hamza Shiraz? I mean, Shiraz has got a great future ahead of him. I think he's going to do really well. But he's not in that mix, is he? If he gets an opportunity, go for it. Don't think Crawford would be interested. Canelo, it does nothing for him. So these two, really, the only fight for him is the rematch. For me, it's the only real, feasible option that I could see where I'd say, yeah, you know what? This is a fight where the fans may or may not get hold of it. But for me, I don't even want to see it. Terence Crawford dominated that fight so much. And I know it was a little bit nip-tuck at times, but when you look at the art of pugilism and the skill set that came from Terence Crawford and the way he dismantled, dissected, and beat him at his own game towards the end, took Canelo on and beat him at his own game. Terence Crawford it was an easy night's work for him, dare I say, an easy night's work against Canelo Alvarez. And I don't want to rain on this parade, but Canelo is definitely past his best. But I don't think it would have mattered because Crawford was that good. 38 years old. How does he do it? He's on the Cobra juice. Whatever the Cobra's taking, he's like a youth. What he's just done is unbelievable. And I'd actually like to see him retire. He's made some serious bunts. Not as much as Canelo. Right? There's rumours that he's made 150 million. 150 million. Let me have another drink. And Crawford made 50 million. Both of these guys can retire. Both of them can sail off into the sunset. I don't think Canelo will be happy with finishing on a loss, but Terence Crawford, for me, just brilliant. The only fight, probably the rematch, unless he wants to hang around for another couple of years, but he's tapping on the door for 40 years old, and I know how that feels. So I'd say to him, listen, if you can get another cash out payday, get it, but for me, get yourself retired. Right, so that's it for another episode of Froch on Fighting. What a great night of boxing. I just want to say, I did predict it. I did say, listen, don't shoot the messenger. Terence Crawford to win on points. Listen, on the way out tonight, I mean, I've had a great week in Vegas all week with my boy, Manveer Ryan. And I'll tell you what, the ego has well and truly landed. My boy Manny's been getting some love as well. But to be honest, in America, I get a lot of fans coming over. The Cobra, we love you. We love your fight against Jermaine Taylor. We loved it when you rendered George Groves unconscious. They don't pull it like that. But I'm getting some love from the Americans out here. I'm getting some love for the channel as well. And it's just been a really, really good week. I hooked up with my old friend Lennox Lewis. I say my old friend, but listen, we go way back with it, me and Lennox. I had a good chat with him, did a couple of nice interviews, and I've had an unbelievable time out here. I mean, Riyadh season and Turkey Al Sheikh puts on an amazing event. It really does. This wouldn't be happening if it weren't for that guy. So we've got to pay homage to this guy because he's putting the shows on. Listen, I'm going to get off now because there's a few people waiting for me at the back. My boy Stormzy came over to me and got a picture with a Cobra. He asked me for a selfie, so I obviously assisted him with that. He enjoyed it. I had a good chat with him, actually. He's a proper cool guy. He knows his boxing, and he's got some serious respect for the Cobra as well. So big up, Stormzy. Right, that's a wrap. I'm out of here. I've got Stormzy waiting for me. We're going to go and get a couple of tequilas in the casino. I'm going to take my boy Manveer Ryan with me as well. The ego has well and truly landed. We're going to go and finish up in the casino. Fly back tomorrow. Don't forget, we're going to be doing more videos next week. So catch up if you haven't already. Hit subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. And don't forget, this episode is brought to you by Cobra Casino.